I do want to comment on something, right? And this is something that actually happened while I was away, so I didn't get a chance to do it in the previous open bar, but I have to address it now because I feel like it's important.
Oh my God.
Velma has been cancelled after 2 seasons. I love the article that I'm reading about this. It just sums it up perfectly. Velma, the Max original animated series, has been the source of much controversy. Even before it premiered on Max, many Scooby-Doo fans were put off by the idea of it. Even the franchise's adult fans would have loved a family-friendly version of Velma. But on the show's premiere, it received awful reviews and didn't hit with any fan base whatsoever. Now, after 2 seasons, Velma has finally been cancelled at Max. And it does say Velma has a 1.6 out of 10 rating on IMDb and a 6 out of 10 rating on IGN, summarized as okay. The IGN review describes the series as an often funny take on the classic. Fucking really?
Wow.
With plenty of risque humor. Unfortunately, most of what makes Velma funny is completely unrelated to the character who gets a starring role. The review cites that most of the humor comes from being unintentionally bad, mainly from the show's failed character dynamic between the gang. Oh, well.
I'm surprised they didn't blame the audience more.
Give it time.
Yeah.
Yeah, where was the show was immediately met with racist backlash? Where was that paragraph?
Yeah, well, I'm just waiting for that. But like, I think this is a more honest review of how terrible it was. But I can't even believe it got 2 seasons. I think it was that weird.
It's just sad that hate watching failed once again. God, we can't keep these things alive. It's so sad.
Did anybody see?
I actually didn't hate watch Velma season 2, and I think the declining viewership from my like lack of videos has probably hurt it. So
that probably accounts for 60% of the viewership drop.
Yeah. You and Disparu, I think, collectively made up the entire viewership, potentially.
I actually watched.
Still trying to save Willow.
They did a Halloween special, and I think I was one of 2 people who watched it. I think it was me and Disparu.
Wow.
And that's why you only heard about the cancellation now, because that was the last episode, and then the next day or a couple of days later, it was announced that it was cancelled. And that was shockingly bad, that Halloween episode. It was everything wrong with the series dumped into one 40-minute episode.
I mean, I can't think of many shows that have been as widely despised as Velma was with season 1. I think by season 2, no one even gave a shit. Like, they just didn't even watch it. Like,
no, even the YouTube videos for season 2, nobody watched them.
Yeah,
I did consider doing it for that reason. It's like I went back through all the old season 1 videos just to do a compilation, and I thought, I'll do it for old time's sake. It's partly responsible for making my channel. And then I thought, you know what, I don't actually have to subject myself to this anymore. So why bother? Just ignore the thing, and it will go away. And lo and behold, it has gone away. But I remember thinking, when season 1 came out, because She-Hulk had finished about 2 months previously. And it's like it took 2023, I think it was, a month to make a worse comedy than She-Hulk, which was surprising, but quite impressive.
I mean, we genuinely got that double whammy towards the end of the year, didn't we? It was like, She-Hulk and Velma. Like,
She-Hulk was fun in comparison. Now, granted, they hated us too, but I don't know why I had more fun with She-Hulk than I did with anything else.
She-Hulk was a better show than Velma. Velma is truly, truly awful.
How did it get special? How did it get a special? Like, do you think that was just in the original deal?
I don't know. At the end of season 2, Velma is killed by a dog, Scrappy Doo, I think. And then in the Halloween special, they bring her back to life. But it opens up with a plot hole, basically. The plot hole being that they're bringing her back to life on Halloween, but it turns out they brought the wrong spell book. And I was thinking, wait, did nobody research this before they decided to bring her back to life? And then the rest of the episode is a complete mess. But yeah, that's why.
Scrappy, the hero we needed.
Based Scrappy Doo. It's like they've done the impossible. They've finally made Scrappy Doo likable.
I feel like this might happen to Agatha, where we're the only people watching it, is the people covering it, because I don't see really anyone talking about it.
At EFAT, we watched the first 2 episodes, and we actively were just like against the idea of watching more. We actually hated that show. Like, thought it was disgusting. Like just fully through and through. It's funny you mentioned She-Hulk. Like, I'm not opposed to seeing more hyper cringe from Marvel. Like, if they said we're doing another She-Hulk season, I'd be like, lol, in the same way as Acolyte. But Velma, I'm kind of like, thank God that cockroach has been fucking squashed. That's the, it's one of many that you kind of want to stop.
With Velma, it was so obvious what they were doing. With She-Hulk, it's like, you can see they're trying to appeal to a certain group. But Velma was just fucking horrible from start to finish and so obvious what they were trying to achieve.
It's like, Velma just seemed to hate everyone in the audience, really. And like, I don't know what the thinking was behind it. I don't know how anyone who viewed this before it went live to the public thought, we've got a winner on our hands here. This is going to work. Like, and
to attach it to Scooby-Doo, like a family-friendly, loved for decades. Like even She-Hulk, they could do virtually anything. I know there's a group of people that are probably She-Hulk fans, but it's not like Scooby-Doo that generations have grown up with, and that's the show they picked to do it with.
Yeah, and I do wonder, like, what has this done for Mindy Kaling in terms of her career?
She still gets work.
What is she doing now?
And she probably still will get work. I don't think it's going to do much of anything for her career. Like, I don't think it's going to get her jobs, nor will it stop her from getting jobs necessarily.
I think she just announced something, but I think I blocked it out. But like, you know how it is. They still get. She should have just been giving her the Mindy Kaling show, but instead they take our toys. This is what Joker 2. I was like, we just need to stop letting them use our toys to tell their stories. If you want to use our toys,
I've seen like
tell the stories.
Obviously, everyone remembers her like from The Office. That's where she got her big break. She was playing an annoying, insufferable character in that. Okay, fine. Art imitating life.
She was a writer on that as well, wasn't she?
Well, she claims to be, but then it's never clear how much writing she actually did. Like, did she just pitch in the occasional line here and there, or what?
Listen, even the most unfunny people can make a good joke every once in a while, all right? Even by accident.
I guess, like just through sheer like repetition. But then she did the Mindy Project, which I watched. I'm sure I watched a couple of episodes of that. Didn't laugh once throughout the whole thing. It was just pure insufferable cringe. And then she went and she did this. Like, I'm sure she's done other things in between. I just haven't been aware of them. But like, it's not a great track record. There's nothing that I see in her that makes me think, wow, that girl has got a natural instinct for comedy.
Though,
but you know what they see? She's slim now. I was going to say she's overweight and she's of the right color. That's where
she's straight though, so that really hurts her. Remember, they got upset that Velma was heteronormative and was thirsting for Fred. They wanted her to be LGBTQIA plus.
Whenever she was, there was a whole subplot in Velma season 1 where she was simping after Daphne. That was like the main relationship. It's like on again, off again. Everyone somehow fancied Velma, which was the least believable thing about the entire production.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. It was an odd show, and I don't know. Yeah, like I say, I don't even know how it was able to be sustained for as long as it was. I assume it was that strange setup they have where they ultimately film and record and edit enough for 2 seasons, but they split it up into 2 seasons right off the bat. So like all the stuff that you were seeing had already been done when season 1 came out. It was just that's the amount of content they had.
They did significant rewrites for season 2, and I know this because one of the animators got in touch with a YouTuber I'm friends with and basically told him that for season 2, they put a lot of effort into the animation. I think they hired 3 animating directors, and one of their instructions was to really work hard on the animation to punch up the jokes. And there was apparently quite a bit of ambition for season 2 within the studio, and they thought maybe it would go somewhere. It wasn't just sort of a leftover from season 1. They did put quite a bit of time, effort, and money into it.
Wow.
Well, I will say one of the things that stuck out to us when we saw episode 1 and 2, we were just like, the animation is way better than the writing.
Yes.
Like, it's not even close.
It's not a bad looking show. I mean, it's nowhere near as cheap and shit as you'd expect it to be if you were just listening to it. If you open your eyes and think, well, that's depressing. Lots of talented people actually worked on this. Oh shit.